So hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the medical coding certificates information session. My name is Dr. Memory Ndanga. I am the academic program director for the HIM program, and I oversee the medical coding certificate. I will just share a little bit about myself. This is your time, but I'll just share a little bit about myself. I have 15 years of healthcare experience, mostly focused in health information management and informatics. So I am well aware of the medical coding certificate, and I am glad to share a little bit about our program. So I'll start with addressing what is medical coding for some of you that might have joined and are not too familiar with the program. So medical coding is all about reviewing a medical record to make sure that you are assigning codes that match up to what is documented for reimbursement purposes. At least that's the simplest definition that I can give. So in terms of, you look at the patient chart, what happened, what was going on, and then you can ascertain a code to make sure that whatever code you are placing, it matches with the records that the patient has on file, and that's used for reimbursement purposes. So coding students will study anatomy and physiology. Pretty much you need to be familiar with all this so that you are able to read the content in the medical records. You cover legal, ethical issues. You also definitely need to have the computer application skills because most of these things are done electronically. Coding classification systems, reimbursement methodologies, practice experience, that's really in our advanced coding certificate. They are working through the inpatient and outpatient charts, and they can give you case studies and you can work on that. So we do cover all that. In terms of certification, after you finish the program, pretty much you can sit for the CCA, which is the Certified Coding Associate credentialing exam. If you put more hands-on in terms of getting that extra practice, you can then sit for the CCS exam. Definitely, with the knowledge we give you, you'll be able to sit for the CCA, but I would encourage just that extra studying so that you're really prepared for the advanced questions for inpatient coding, and you can take the CCS exam. So the CCS credential is the highest sought, especially in the healthcare field, and all these credentials are offered by AHIMA. So what do coders really do? They work as a critical link between the providers and the payers, and sometimes they are working in different environments pretty much. Like I said before, they review the medical records to ensure appropriate codes are assigned. They also make sure they understand the language and they are able to query the physician, especially when there isn't enough documentation to code the charts. They are there to also educate providers in terms of the changes to reimbursement guidelines. So once you have the knowledge, you are able to do the coding yourself. You can actually be able to educate other people, even educate physicians, whether it's reimbursement or it's actually how they should be documenting the charts. I have a few coders that I know that are actually working with physicians in terms of documentation, like CDI and things like that. So what are some of the career options when you have your CCA or CCS? So you can work as an outpatient coder, inpatient coder, or just or even physician offices, really. Most of these jobs, obviously they want experience, but you can always get other opportunities to start somewhere. So you have to be prepared to start somewhere so you can grow within certain organizations to be able to get some of the the experience, and especially if you're working remote as a remote coder, there's nobody around to assist you, so you do need experience to be able to do that. You can move to clinical documentation or DRG validator, revenue cycle. I actually had a seminar yesterday with one of our graduate students who is actually managing the revenue cycle at one of the New York facilities, and he was explaining how he started, and he actually just have a CCS, and he is in a director position at that facility. So there are really a lot of good opportunities, especially when you grow within an organization and you are willing to, take the steps to take the credentials and gain more experience. So what are the requirements for applying for the medical coding certificate? You really have to just have a high school diploma. If you have college credits, that's better. Maybe it will eliminate some of the classes that you'll be taking, but for you to be able to apply, you do need a high school diploma. You should be able to be reading, writing, and it should be very proficient. This is a 36 credit certificate. Why is that so? You are gaining college level credits, and those credits can be rolled over to our bachelor's in health information management degree if you choose to do that. So it does take a little bit longer to complete the medical coding certificate. Some programs out there are like 6 months and things like that. We are not a 6-month program. If you are taking it full-time, chances are you'll probably be able to finish within 18 months. If it's part-time, that will be a little bit longer. We do offer classes every semester, like all our coding level classes, they are offered every semester, so there is no waiting time. It just depends on the number of credits that you're taking. Since our medical coding certificate is fully online, meaning there is no scheduled class time to meet, you should be able to just discipline yourself in terms of time management and the use of Blackboard. There is Blackboard orientation. So Blackboard is our learning platform. That's where all the materials for your classes will be posted. And also, when you set up your meetings with your professors, usually it's communicating through the Blackboard channel. You might communicate outside Blackboard in terms of emails, but pretty much you can send them an email and they will be able to respond to you that way. They communicate with you via announcements or any other forms, discussions, and things like that. But that's where everything happens. All your learning processes will happen in Blackboard. So what does an online class look like? Right now on your screen, you are looking at an example of one of the foundation classes for coding. That screen shows you on the left navigation, it shows things that are in red. Those are the things that you'll be able to click on. So the first one will be like the announcements, start here, your syllabi, your professor's information, the weekly folders. That's where all the information resides of what you're supposed to complete each week. And then right now, you are now within one of the weeks. So pretty much it will display everything you need to complete for that specific week. So usually in a week, you get your PowerPoint presentation, you get what the learning objectives, you get your reading content, and the assignments that are due. There might be a discussion board. It will also be listed for during that week, or an exam, a quiz. That's all listed in that week. How our classes work, you might open let's say the first week, you open it on a Monday. Everything is due by Sunday. So everything that's required for that particular week is due by Sunday. You can do it anytime within that week, or even if it's an exam, the week will open on a Monday. You have Monday until Sunday to take the exam. But for exams, it doesn't mean like when you open it on Monday, it's gonna wait for you until Sunday. Once you open an exam, usually exams are timed. So once you open an exam, if you have 1 hour to complete it, that means you have to sit down and complete that exam within that 1 hour. I know it seems, some people think it's easy in terms of online, but it really takes a lot in terms of time management and you making sure you are completing the work, because no one is constantly following after you in terms of, hey, you didn't submit this. Your professor usually looks at it at the end of the week. Your professor usually looks at it at the end of the week, and that's when they give you the feedback that you didn't submit something. So pretty much just make sure, like, if you're going to enroll, you are paying attention to your weekly folders and things like that. I am going to the next slide. So why would you choose CUNY SPS? If you are not aware, CUNY has a lot of opportunities. It is accredited by Middlesex, and pretty much it's within the 25 schools of CUNY. So SPS is within the 25 schools of CUNY. So what better location if you're coming from any of those schools, you can easily transfer in any of your credits. So it is a good environment for students, and especially if you're working and you have a lot of other things going on, the online format is also very flexible. So that's another reason for you to enroll. So how does our student population, when we're looking at our student population, we are looking at working adults, many with they're transitioning careers, they have families, like I say, there are a lot of things going on, and we're looking at students from all over the US, really. We do get applications from all over the US, and it works well because there is no certain times to meet in terms of the class schedule, and you can always schedule an appointment with your professor, and you can schedule a time that fits you and the professor. So it's something that's flexible for a lot of people. And then when it comes to our faculty, the people that are teaching the coding classes, they are well experienced coders, and either they are in management positions and they're actually training within their own organizations. So the people that are teaching are currently coders they are employed as coders full-time, and they are actually working as adjunct professors to be able to teach the coding classes. So they are well knowledgeable, and they have the current knowledge. It's not, they've been coders before, they're actually doing the work now. So they can actually bring real life experience to you, and they can share that with you and actually equip you with better knowledge, and be able to share the experiences, what they're going through right now at their jobs, and they are able to share those scenarios with you. So which actually helps a lot of our students. We also, another reason to actually choose our school is the student services. There is a lot of support for our students. One of them is career services. We do have a career service department that can work with you, whether you're studying or when you want to transition. They can look at your resume, assist you on, if you're looking for a job, they receive a lot of job opportunities. They can kind of direct you in what you can do and what you qualify for. One-on-one advisors. So once you're accepted, you're assigned to an advisor, and that advisor can walk you through how to register and what classes to register. And if you have any other things you want to discuss that are more geared towards your education, they can kind of help you to do that. There's also tutoring services, and this is via tutor.com, and tutor.com is available 24/7. So if you are a working professional and you need assistance, whether it's 12 midnight, 3 a.m., there's always someone who you can reach out to. Or there's also writing and quantitative fellows that are able to read your papers. If you need additional help with citations and things like that, they are able to assist. Library hours and the help desk. And we also have something that I didn't add on here that's called a care team. A care team is if you're having any other issues besides your own education, there is a care team at CUNY SPS that can actually, someone you can actually talk to, whether it's anything else going on at home or anything you want to discuss besides your own classes. They are able to do that with you. So one of the questions that are constantly coming is financing. How do you finance your certificate? There is always external scholarships that you can apply for, and that's via the SPS website. They also offer payment plans, or just personal loans, and employer or union vouchers that you can use. If you have any questions that are directed, especially on this part, finance, I would really ask you to email the BESA office, and you can also get that email address at the end of this. I just have a few more slides, and I'll be taking your questions. So some of the frequently asked questions is this entirely online? And as I mentioned before, yes, this program is entirely online. There isn't any in-person component to this certificate program. And how long will it take to get my certificate? Like I mentioned before, if you're taking full-time, that means if you are going to be taking full-time credits, you will be able to finish within 18 months. If you are not taking full-time, that means you will be extending that time. So it really just depends on the number of credits that you are registering for. And this is my last slide. It has all the contact information. It has my email if you have any questions. And Teresa Fasolino, she's the program manager for the HIEM, and she handles all the coding students. Then you also have the email for admissions and the BESA office for any financial related questions. All right, thank you everyone for logging in and showing up. And if you ever have any other questions, please feel free to email us. Thank you and have a good night.